Hello my dear students, welcome to this session. In chapter 5, in last session, we have completed with phyllotaxy, that was the pattern of arrangement of leaves on stem or branches. Today we are going to start with detail of flower. Flower is a very important part of any of the plant. Actually it is considered as the reproductive unit in the angiospermic plant. Flowers are only present in angiospermic plants, and we have last chapter we have completed with the detail of angiosperms. Flower are the reproductive units. They are meant for sexual reproduction, so they bear sexual characters, sexual features. If we see a typical flower, flower has four different kind of holes or layers. In simple language we can say they have four layers, and these holes, they are arranged successively on the swollen end of the stalk, which is known as pedicel. It can also be known as thalamus or receptacle. Now if we see the flower structure, flower comprises of four parts. First, starting from outer towards inner side we are moving. So outermost part is known as calyx, inner to that is corolla, then androecium, and then gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium, they are the main reproductive units of flower, and calyx and corolla, they are accessory organs. That means they assist the function of reproduction. So when we see the detailed structure of any of the flower, all the four parts they are observed, but in some flowers like lily, the calyx and corolla are not distinguished. That means we can't differentiate between calyx and corolla. So this type of arrangement is known as perianth. In other plants also, like in bougainvillea, the perianth is seen. Now when a flower has both androecium as well as gynoecium, then it is said to be bisexual flowers. But when a flower is having either of one reproductive part, either male or female, then this type of flower is known as unisexual. When the flower bears male reproductive part, then it is known as staminate, and when it comprises of female reproductive part, it is known as pistillate flower. So there are so many ways in which the flower it may be classified. This is based on symmetry. Symmetry word we are very much familiar. In last chapter we have learned symmetry regarding animals classification. So concept is very much similar here also. The flower may be having radial symmetry. So this type of flower, it is known as actinomorphic. So radial symmetry I have explained you in last chapter. So you may refer that again. Then it is said to be zygomorphic when it shows bilateral symmetry. When a flower can be divided into two equal radial halves in any radial plane. So more than one plane, when flower can be divided into two equal parts, then this type of flower is said to be actinomorphic, just like in mustard, dhatura or chili. But the line should pass through the center. Now when the flower can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane, then this type of symmetry is known as zygomorphic, or the flower is zygomorphic. Example are pea, gulmohar, bean and cassia. In all of them the zygomorphic situation is seen. Next way to divide flower is it depends upon the presence of floral appendages. But before that I want to one more add the point. Sometimes the flowers are asymmetric also. That means they are irregular also. They cannot be divided into two similar halves by any of the vertical plane which passes through the center. Example is canna. Now let us talk about trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous flower. It depends upon floral appendages, the parts. The floral appendages means the different parts. So they may be 3 in number or multiple of 3, they may be 4 in number or multiple of 4, or they may be 5 in number or either multiple of them. So if 3 in number, the flowers are known as trimerous. When 4 in number, the flowers are known as tetramerous, and when 5 in number, the flowers are known as pentamerous. Flower with bracts or the reduced leaf which are found at the base of the pedicel, this is known as bracteate. So flower having bracteate, this bract is known as bracteate, and those without bracts are known as ebracteate flowers. Now the another topic is regarding the types of flower which is based on position of ovary. So based on the position of ovary, the flowers, they can be divided into hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous flowers. And based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium, in hypogynous flowers, the gynoecium occupies the highest position, while the other parts, they are situated below it. I will show you in the diagram. The ovary in such flower is said to be superior ovary because it is standing on the top. For example, in mustard, China rose and brinjal. Now if gynoecium is situated in center and the other parts of flowers are located on the same level or rim of the thalamus, almost at the same level as I have said to you, then this type of position is known as perigynous, and the ovary is said to be half inferior, like in plum, rose and peach. Lastly, epigynous flowers. Here we will see that the margins of the thalamus shows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. So the other parts of the flower, they arise above the ovary. That means ovary is situated below all the parts. So ovary is said to be inferior. And as in flowers of guava, cucumber and ray florets of sunflower, this position can be easily seen. So in this diagram, I will show you how the position of the ovary, on depending upon the position of the ovary, the type of floral parts, they can be explained. So first condition, that is in A diagram we are showing hypogynous condition of the ovary. So here this centermost portion, that is the gynoecium part, and here we will see this is gynoecium. This structure, it is showing gynoecium and it is placed on the topmost position. So this is the topmost position, and the remaining parts, they are explained on the basis of this. So when we see the other parts, it is very clear that this is the calyx, this is the corolla, and these are the androecium units. So all these are located just below the level of ovary. So it is at superior position. Now when we will see at B diagram, we will come to know, even in C diagram also they are almost similar, but we are able to see the perigynous flower, because here the gynoecium is situated in the center and the other parts of the flower, they are located on almost same level. So you can see this level is almost same. Here also this level is almost same. So here the level is same. So this will be the lower position, but it is not attained. They are at the same level. So level is same actually. This we have to keep in our mind. This is the gynoecium part, this is androecium part, this is petal, that means corolla, and this is sepal, which is part of calyx. Similarly in C diagram also the rim is same. So this rim is same. Here the floral parts, they are not situated. Okay. So almost same level. So half inferior ovary we can say here. Then last diagram D, we are showing here epigynous type of flower. Why? Because now you are able to see that the position of the ovary. This is the ovary, okay, this is ovary, and this position, it is actually below the level of calyx, corolla and androecium part. They all are situated above the level of ovary. So here we can say that ovary is inferior. Just present in sunflower. Sunflower is the best example, and many other examples are also there. So we have studied the structure of flower, a typical flower. So this part, it is a pedicel. We have understood the meaning of pedicel earlier. Then flower consists of 4 parts. The outermost is calyx. So calyx is this green part, which is leafy structure, very similar to leafy structure. So this part is calyx part. Actually, when this flower is in bud condition, it protects the other parts. Then followed by corolla. Corolla is always colorful and its units is known as petals. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals in this diagram, okay, and here the petals, they are colorful. Then followed by androecium. Androecium, these are the units of androecium known as stamens. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 units shown here. We will talk about androecium and gynoecium later on in next session. Right now only identify all these parts. The innermost is gynoecium. So gynoecium, I will explain you with different color. I want to explain you with different colors. So I am using the black color here. So this is the gynoecium part, only this much, okay. So this centermost portion is gynoecium, which is showing the female reproductive part. So this is the diagram regarding typical flower. So इसके पहले जो हमने डायग्राम देखा, उसी के सारे पार्ट्स को हमने इस डायग्राम में सेपरेट कर दिया है. तो सबसे आउटर मोस्ट कैलिक्स, कोरोला, एंड्रोशियम एंड गाइनेशियम. और यहाँ जो यूनिट्स दिखाई हैं, जैसे यहाँ पे अगर हम एक यूनिट की बात करें, यहाँ पे ये खाली एक स्ट्रक्चर हमने कंसिडर किया है, तो इसको हम बोलेंगे सेपल. अगर हम कोरोला की बात करें तो इतना सिंगल यूनिट, एक ही यूनिट हमने यहाँ पे कंसिडर किया है, इसको हम बोलेंगे पेटल. ओके. सिमिलरली एंड्रोशियम का अगर हम पार्ट देखें, कोई भी एक पार्ट अगर हम कंसिडर करें, जैसे ये सिंगल पार्ट है, तो इसको हम बोलेंगे स्टेमन. सो दीज आर द यूनिट्स ऑफ दीज स्ट्रक्चर्स. एंड लास्ट पार्ट है गाइनेशियम. यहाँ पे ये एक ही यूनिट है, सिंगल यूनिट ही हमको दिखाई गई है, तो हम ये पूरा यूनिट कंसीडर करेंगे. यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, सिंगल स्ट्रक्चर है, तो इसको हम बोलेंगे पिस्टिल. इसकी डिटेल हम बाद में देखेंगे. अभी आज हमने सिर्फ कैलिक्स और करोला के बारे में पढ़ा था. नाउ लेट अस सी द डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ फ्लावर. ईच फ्लावर नॉर्मली हैज़ 4 floral holes. I have said to you earlier, outermost calyx, inner to it corolla, then androecium and gynoecium. Let us see individually in detail. Firstly, we will start with calyx. Calyx is the outermost hole of the flower and the members are called sepals. So each unit of calyx is known as sepal. This is also an important term. So sepals are green, just similar to the leaf. And main function of sepal is to protect the flower in bud condition. When the floral bud, आपने जनरली देखा होगा जब हम गुलाब के फूल की कली हम लेते हैं, तब ग्रीन कलर के पार्ट्स उसको कवर करके रखते हैं. सो एक्चुअली दीज आर द पार्ट्स ऑफ फ्लावर ओनली, एंड दिस इज द कैलिक्स विच इज़ द आउटर मोस्ट पार्ट, एंड इट प्रोटेक्ट्स द floral parts in bud condition. Now there are 2 conditions. When the calyx, it is united, means the sepals, they are united, this condition is known as gamosepalous. But sometimes These sepals may be free also, they are separated from one another. So this condition is known as polysepalous. Then we'll move to another part, inner than calyx. It is known as corolla. And corolla is made up of small units known as petals. We are very much familiar with this word. Always we used to say the name right, like rose petals. So petals are usually brightly colored and they are made for attracting the insects for mainly pollination. And like we have seen in calyx, corolla may be also of two types. When they are free, they are known as gamopetalous, or when they are united, they are known as polypetalous. Even the shape, the color, and the size, it may vary from flower to flower, species to species, and they show great variations. The corolla may be tubular in shape, just like a tube, bell shaped, funnel shaped, or wheel shaped. It depends upon the type of flower. So अभी हमने दो फ्लावर के पार्ट्स देखे, कैलिक्स और कोरोला. इसी के साथ एक दूसरा टॉपिक दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे. बाकी के दो पार्ट्स हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे. अभी हम एक द अदर important topic we are going to learn, that is estivation. Actually it is the mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud condition with respect to other members of the same whole. So it is known as estivation. The main type of estivations are first valvate, then twisted, then imbricate, and lastly vexillary. So four different type of estivations we will be going to see. But in next slide I will show you with the help of diagram, so it will be more clear to you. Right now only see the meaning and some of the examples. नहीं समझ में आए तो भी आप समझने की ट्राई करना. एक्चुअली ये टॉपिक आपको डायग्राम से ही ज़्यादा समझ में आएगा. So I'll start. When sepals or petals in whole just touch one another at their margin without overlapping, they are valvate type. For example, in Calotropis. Secondly, if one margin of the appendage overlap that of next one, and so on as in China rose, lady's finger, or in cotton, it is said to be twisted. आप डायग्राम देखोगे तो अच्छे से समझ में आएगा. Then third is, if the margins of the sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction, as in Cassia and Gulmohar, then estivation is imbricate type. And lastly, vexillary estivation, it is very peculiar type और बहुत सबसे अलग भी है. In pea plant or in bee flowers, they are showing 5 petals in different type of arrangement. They are, first is the largest one, which is known as standard, and it overlaps the other two lateral petals, and these two lateral petals are known as wings, which again in turn overlap the innermost smallest petals too. That is known as keel. So in this way, a typical arrangement of these floral parts they are observed, and it is known as vexillary type of estivation, or it is seen in Papilionaceae. So in later part of the chapter you are going to study about the families. In that we will learn about Fabaceae family. So in that we will see that flower they are having this vexillary type of estivation. So it will be more clear in that particular topic also. Let us try to understand with the diagrammatic representation. सो स्टूडेंट्स, अब तक जितने भी डायग्राम आज हमने पढ़े हैं वो सभी आपको डायग्राम ड्रॉ करने हैं आपकी क्लास वर्क में, और ये डायग्राम भी आपको ड्रॉ करना है, बट ओनली ब्लैक कलर से जो डायग्राम यहाँ पे शो किया है उतना ही आपको बनाना है. ये वाला डायग्राम आपको एक्सक्लूड कर देना है जो मैंने अभी आपको हाईलाइट किया है, तो ये नहीं बनाना है, ये सिर्फ समझने के लिए है. 3 डायमेंशनल डायग्राम जनरली हम नहीं बनाते हैं, हम 2D डायग्राम्स को प्रेफर करते हैं. सो हियर लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. सबसे पहले वाल्वेट देखेंगे. यहाँ पे मार्जिन टू मार्जिन टच है, आप देखो दिस इज़ 1 यूनिट, ये सेकेंड, ये थर्ड, ये फोर्थ और ये फिफ्थ। ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोई भी ओवरलैपिंग नहीं है। सेकेंड बी डायग्राम में हम देखेंगे जहाँ पे ट्विस्टेड है, इसका आउटर पार्ट बाहर की तरफ है और एक अंदर की तरफ है। सिमिलरली हियर एक बाहर की तरफ, एक अंदर की तरफ। सो ये जो यूनिट्स हैं, एक पार्ट इसका बाहर की तरफ है, मीन्स ट्विस्टेड स्ट्रक्चर है। ओके, तो इस तरह से आपको डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना है। सो दिस इज ट्विस्टेड टाइप ऑफ एस्टिवेशन। देन थर्ड वन इज इम्ब्रिकेट। यहाँ पे कुछ फिक्स नहीं है, बट अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो ये जो यूनिट है इसका वो बिल्कुल बाहर की तरफ है, इसके दोनों पार्ट्स बाहर की तरफ हैं। और ये अगर यूनिट देखोगे तो आप दोनों ही तरफ से अंदर की तरफ है, ये मीन्स ओवरलैप्ड, इट इज़ ओवरलैप्ड बाय अदर पार्ट्स। और यहाँ पे ओवरलैपिंग नहीं है। बट बाकी के जो 3 बचे हैं उसमें एक पोर्शन ओवरलैप्ड है और दूसरा पोर्शन ओवरलैपिंग कर रहा है। ठीक है, फर्स्ट, सेकंड एंड थर्ड, ये तीनों एक पार्ट ओवरलैप हो रहा है और दूसरा पार्ट ओवरलैप कर रहा है। तो इस तरह की अरेंजमेंट होगी, उसको हम इम्ब्रिकेट टाइप ऑफ एस्टिवेशन बोलेंगे। लास्ट है वैक्सिलरी। मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था वैक्सिलरी बहुत ही टिपिकल है। और यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे तो दिस वन इज़ द स्टैंडर्ड, जो सबसे बड़ा पार्ट है और वो अंदर वाले यूनिट को कवर कर रहा है। इसको हम बोलते हैं स्टैंडर्ड। मैं यहाँ पे शॉर्ट में डिनोट कर रही हूँ, स्टैंडर्ड इसको हमने बोला है। इसी तरह से नेक्स्ट 2 पार्ट्स जो हैं वो ओवरलैप हो रहे हैं और नेक्स्ट 2 पार्ट्स यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे, इनको हमने बोला है विंग्स। 2 लेटरल पार्ट्स, दे आर नोन एज विंग्स। इसको भी मैं शॉर्ट में आपको यहाँ पे बता रही हूँ, W स्टैंड्स फॉर विंग्स हियर। और जो स्मॉलेस्ट पार्ट है, दिस वन एंड दिस वन, ये भी 2 स्मॉलेस्ट portions they are present, so इसको हम बोलेंगे कील। so I am denoting it as K. so largest part standard followed by wings, 2 lateral wings, and the smallest units they are known as keel. Okay, so total 5 in number. So in this way this type of arrangement they are present. So 4 type of estivations in corolla condition we have seen: valvate, twisted, imbricate and vexillary. विद एग्जाम्पल्स आपको याद रखना है, ये डायग्राम भी आपको ड्रॉ करना है। सो इन दिस वे स्टूडेंट्स, आई हैव शोन यू हाउ टू राइट पॉइंट वाइज। दिस इज सिंपल डायग्राम, सो वॉट एवर यू फील ईजी you can draw the diagram of or the structure related to flower and all the points regarding calyx and corolla. Similarly, this diagram, it is showing estivation, their types, the definition of estivation and the 4 different types of estivation. If this diagram is not comfortably easy, then you can draw the diagram from our textbook. So today we have learned so many things. Please revise it, write down properly in your classwork and do learn it. Take care. Bye bye students.